Hello, beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
For our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show.
And if you're looking for an uncut version of this video, you can check the link in the description, join us on Patreon, or you can become a member here on YouTube. There's a join button next to the subscribe button. Both are $5 a month. You have to have your own copy of the show, and we'll give you a countdown so you can follow along.
And y'all, don't forget to like this video. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and also hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified for when we have a new upload. Woo!
Yes, sir.
Abe and Charlie, how y'all doing? What an ending to the last season.
Crazy.
And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Season 5 is the episode, the season that won the Emmy. The only season that won the Emmy.
Really?
For Best Drama. Yeah.
Season 5.
Season
the one
5.
we're coming up on.
So one we're coming up on.
Wow,
so,
it didn't win Emmys before that?
No. I mean, they probably did for acting, but for specific, as a whole, Season 5 is the only one, from what I read. Yeah.
Okay. Damn. All right, so we're really in for it.
Yeah.
I thought Season 4 was peak at this point. So if Season 5 is the Emmy winner, then I guess we're in for it.
Exactly. I can't even imagine where they're going to take this now.
I'm ready. I have a popsicle.
Fire.
All right, but before we get into this episode, Abe, can you read the comments from our previous Tony Tuesday?
Yes, I can. This one comes from Primo, and it says, "This is one of the best episodes of the entire series, easily." Referencing Whitecaps. Thank you so much, Primo. I think I agreed. I don't know if I remember you guys saying it was pretty much up there too, right? In terms of the acting performances, the writing, everything was fire. This next one comes from Thomas, and it says, "Vincent Curatola as Johnny Sack is such an incredible performance. Love his stare at Tony as he drives off." Yeah, that dynamic there between Johnny Sack and Tony was one to watch, and it left us with a bit of a cliffhanger as to what is going on between Johnny, Tony, Carmine, that whole dynamic. And I guess we will find out in this season. And the last one here comes from Paul Evans, and it says, "Don't know if you caught it, but during the big fight, Tony said, 'Oh, poor you,' something his mother used to always say to him, and what Gloria said to Tony during their big fight," which actually makes sense why Tony snapped at Gloria so much during that fight. So that's crazy. That's a real specific callback to Livia. Thank you for commenting that.
And then that scene with Johnny Sack and Tony, we were told by a couple comments not to read into it a lot.
In terms of
in terms of what was going on and the hand in the pocket. But sometimes we're gonna.
The show has a lot of subtleties. Another thing, I think somebody said something about subtitles that you don't want us watching with subtitles. I hear you. The issue is there is so much happening in this show, and we also commentate through that as a reaction channel. So it's really hard for us not to have subtitles because we will most likely miss something. So I appreciate you bearing with us. I totally get the feedback, but we are going to continue with subtitles, and I hope that you just bear with us.
It's just a sign of how old we're getting.
Yeah.
Watch everything with subtitles now.
I do, man. I do. I'm so sorry. I just do because I like to catch all the details and what people say. And, I'm not from Jersey. I'm not an Italian American. So when they, be throwing around the slang, I need some cues. I need to read it a little bit. So appreciate your patience.
And with that being said, y'all, Charlie, season 5, episode 1, Two Tonys is the title.
I just saw Drea's name. Or Drea, forget. You guys see that thing about her OnlyFans?
Yeah, she has one.
Who is that?
Not just that.
Who plays
Adriana?
Yeah.
So she apparently has her 13-year-old son edit her photos for that.
Oh my God.
You guys saw that?
No.
That was like big news lately. I think she said it on a podcast or something.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That is that's child prawn.
I don't think that she does explicit stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As far as I know. I'm not sure.
So we are at Carmela's house?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Who's taking care of all the leaves, huh?
This is interesting. Oh yeah, the grill's like uncovered. Newspaper out there.
Yeah, this is usually when we get Tony walking up with the robe. Meadow? Yeah.
Oh my God.
AJ!
Tony would be having a stroke with her listening to this music right now.
Hey, you need to wash your car, girl.
Yeah, I think it's dirty.
I love how AJ was prepped with headphones. And
He has his iPod. He's like, yeah, no way.
And these people now being released from prison are the same ones who were jailed during the big mafia crackdowns of the 1980s?
Oh my God.
Oh.
They're going to put everything to worse, these TV news people.
How long till dinner?
Any familiar...
In New York, the only old-style boss still in place is Carmine Lupertazzi. He'll soon be rejoined by Angelo Gareppe, his former consigliere. Also, Philip Leotardo, longtime Lupertazzi captain.
You've got Michele Fichlamana, released just this week.
a man greatly feared and respected in the 70s. Similar situation with Anthony Blundetto in that same Jersey crime.
Oh, that's what's his face?
Oh, another Tony. This is
Isn't
the
that
second Tony.
Steve Buscemi?
Thought to be the central
Oh, is it?
suspect in
Yeah.
the car bomb.
Oh yeah, let's go.
That's the best picture they could find. He was a fox.
He was a fox.
Be nice to have him back, huh? Your cousin?
Missed the shit out of him.
The older you are,
I feel like we're always finding out about new family members that have never been mentioned, like ever.
Right. That's what it's like having an extended family, bro.
Oh yeah.
We know how that goes.
All right. We have like a billion cousins.
What? My wedding ring.
Wedding ring.
What?
They got married?
This is an interesting point in the history of the mafia.
I'd say we're looking at a great year for crime reporters, Sakanya.
I'm so dead.
Whoa.
This is an interesting.
Setup?
Yeah. Oh boy. He's in that era.
Hey, I've been through that.
Yeah, when you have an annoying brother that plays the drums. Davi, you know how that goes.
Yep.
It's so nice to have a man around the house.
Should have thought about that before.
Oh.
What did you say?
She's got the new hairdo and everything.
Go out and get that vacuum now. What did I just say? Go!
Oh, yikes. Why does he look younger? And the grading is so different right now.
It is very different. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Mommy? Oh, boy. Something bad happened.
Mommy!
Oh!
Mom! Mommy!
AJ, be quiet. Don't move.
Oh no, you got to be loud. That's what you want to do. You got to be
It's
loud.
black,
and
fight
big.
back. If it's black, fight back. Yeah. If it's brown, lie down.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Brown bears are the worst.
Yeah, see, she's got the right idea.
Hey, go away! Go! Hey! Get out of here!
This is 100% a circus bear. Way too well behaved.
Oh, yeah. You clearly don't have a man around the house.
If it was Tony, you would have pulled out a shotgun or something. Oh, she's back.
A new one? No, who's this?
No, it's the same
Valentina,
one.
right?
Valentina.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you're gonna call Dad, aren't you?
No.
A great percentage of them don't come back. He does call us.
Ah, duck food. Yes, my husband's.
It's probably what attracted the animal.
Yeah, if there's still cash in there, though. I think AJ looks younger because it looks like he might have just slightly gained a tiny little bit of weight.
That's what I was thinking.
There was a 2-year period between last season and this season, right?
Yeah, from release.
You're right.
Yeah.
Global warming, acid rain, the national debt. Never even know what's going on.
In the therapy scene.
One of my therapists was a woman.
Too bad you didn't get all your talking done with her.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Imagine her therapist was also Melfi.
That'd be crazy, Charlie.
It's not your job to listen to my problems anyway, and if you don't mind, I'd like to go.
You're free to leave anytime you want.
Good. God damn.
He feels justified now.
He's like, I've done this.
Her question's making me as dizzy as her perfume.
Oh, boy.
He's back.
Is he going to come here just to tell her off? Because, like, this shit is...
Jennifer Melfi?
Yes.
Oh, he sent her flowers.
Bruh.
That must have cost an arm and a leg, too. Some Tide.
Why?
Thank you. What?
Thinking of you, Prince of Tide.
Oh, interesting.
We lead him through the snow. This asshole's shivering. I mean, he's wearing fucking pajamas and slippers.
Oh, they're referencing
What
the
episode was that
Russian
again?
guy. Something Peaks. Right?
Yeah.
Something Peaks? Twin Peaks? Are you sure?
No, Twin Peaks
yeah,
is
I thought
a
you
show.
said- yeah, what? It's that episode where they went on that.
You choked him with the lamp, Paulie, or we could have got Silvio Scarol without having to spend the night in the fucking open.
You let him jab you with that shovel was the problem.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God, there's
They're still arguing. This is so hilarious.
Wait, you lost your shoe?
Oh, my. He's so pissed. Look at him.
Chrissy, please, don't leave me out here.
You little cocksucker.
Pine Barrens, sorry.
Pine Barrens. That's right.
Always playing that blood relation card. Tony's little favorite. F you. What?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
Hey, made man here. Damn, Paulie was squared up. He was ready. Yeah, this season does feel older than the previous season.
Telling you right now, it's finished with us.
Oh, my God. He's so sensitive.
Yes.
Paulie literally just, like, he can't take anything from anybody.
Hello.
You like the flowers?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, before you ask, I am taking the medication.
The smile.
Thank you for that beautiful arrangement. I see you haven't lost your sense of humor.
Well, you gotta have a sense of humor in life, right? You taught me that.
And how is life?
Good. Well, I'm separated, me and Carmela.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. The reason I called, I'd like you to have dinner with me. since we're not in therapy no more and I'm a bachelor again.
This brother is literally so simple-minded. It's hilarious.
She's married, bro, isn't she?
No, she's divorced.
Oh, that's right.
I can't, Anthony. I'm sorry.
You know, I waited a respectable period or whatever before making this call.
Well, then you realize yourself there's something not quite right about us dating.
No, I'm not undeterred by this. We will talk again.
Thank you for the flowers.
And the detergent.
And the detergent. Of course, what's wrong with me?
I don't know, but we'll find out. Leave it to Dr. Tony.
This guy is something else, bro.
Yeah.
Watches a movie about a guy falling in love with his therapist, and he's like, you know, that could be me.
Right.
Oh, he's back. She's gonna take the gun, isn't she?
What's the matter?
The bear! Stay there!
Oh, right. Lock the door. What do you think? He's gonna wipe his feet too? We'll smash through the glass.
Hello?
Oh, shoot.
You got a letter from my cousin in the cane?
Yes, Officer Muda. Hi. Yes, Mrs. Soprano from North Caldwell. We had the bear in our yard the other night.
You guys are cool, right?
Yes, it came back.
Oh, one of those Eastern black bears?
Be up in about an hour.
He's like, they don't do nothing, is he gonna say?
AJ didn't even mention it to you when you two went to the game yesterday?
No.
Yeah, because he was crying.
Why didn't you call me when this first happened? What are you trying to prove you're independent? This isn't a little house on a fucking prairie. Those things are dangerous.
Ranger, whatever, said it was your duck food out there that attracted it.
I never heard of that happening before.
Trapper Joe over here.
The animal still doesn't meet the parameters for removal.
Oh, jeez.
So when somebody's leg is gone,
Problem is, it hasn't really threatened anybody.
It really hasn't. The man broke a chair. It's just too big. He's just trying to pop a squat.
you and your pal buy some new lanyards for your whistles.
Oh, we can't accept that. Oh, we don't have whistles. Thanks, though.
What was he trying to do there?
Yeah, I don't.
Be the man of the house? Just acting like it's his. Oh,
Oh
my God.
gosh, shit, not like that.
Look, I came here to give you your money, but this bad thing, though, I'm worried. You and AJ here by yourselves.
What can we do?
You and AJ, you check yourself into a hotel till this thing blows over. There's $1,200 extra on top of our agreement.
I'm not going to a hotel.
Why not?
I don't want to break Anthony's routines.
He'll get a kick out of it. It's an adventure.
You buy him too much stuff because you feel guilty about the separation.
Excuse me. It wasn't my idea.
There is more than one way to ask for something.
Could we please not?
$5,000 on a set of drums.
5K?
Yeah, it's expensive, bro.
God.
You know that?
Yeah, it looked like he had
Was
the.
your kit 5K?
I don't remember.
He had the Zildjian symbols too. Those are. Whew.
What I think, Tony, is you're trying to make my life now as hard on me financially as possible.
Oh, it should be easy.
Unbelievable.
What do you think? You're the only Catholic here, Camilla? I'm old school. I don't believe in a separation shit and divorce. Even if my wife was going after some fucking immigrant.
Oh, boy.
Yet you are modern enough to use a cell phone to call Italy and every other fucking place to threaten the guy's life.
Oh, yikes.
Certain people see him. He's a dead man.
He had coffee here, Tony. That's all.
And that a coffee maker sucks.
And you had sex with multiple women. Nice. Okay.
Currently still doing it.
And
Too.
Broke the coffee machine because of your impure thoughts.
Thinking maybe I gotta come back for therapy.
Oh, so he is going to come back for therapy.
Yeah, but this is interesting if she accepts because that would
Yeah.
maybe be a conflict.
Yeah.
She'll probably be hesitant.
Oh, this is one of the fresh out guys.
A lot of changes since you went away, huh?
You know what the biggest change for me is? Broads shaving their bushes. I went over to Silvio's, like the Girl Scouts over there.
Oh, my God.
Beach La Mana.
Oh, we finally meet him. We've heard his name pop up a few times.
I look around, and I spot the biggest, blackest motherfucker that I can find.
Of course.
I walk right up to him, and I say, "What the are you looking at?" He says, "What?" I said, "You heard me, motherfucker. What the are you looking at?" That ain't a bang right across the fucking coconut. It goes down. I'm on top of him. Everybody's going fucking crazy. The screws, this guy's, everybody. Motherfucker.
Okay, this guy's a psycho.
Now that I'm out, I'd like to get back in the game.
What'd you have in mind?
You know me, I'm an entrepreneur. Get my shy going. Sports book, you know, whatever you say.
As long as you don't step on anybody's toes.
Me? I'm Fred Astaire.
Yeah, of course you are.
What's this feature tells me? You got a bear up there at the house?
What's it on, fucking CNN?
No, it's just that your wife's up there and the kids, your ex-wife, whatever. It's just that the wild animals, they're dangerous. People talk.
What people? Oh.
I don't know.
It was Bobby.
So, where's the dinner at?
I forget the name. It's in the car.
Who's gonna be there?
What are you, on the school paper? Guys, business. I'm low man tonight. I gotta pay for everybody.
Oh, you know, this is fucking ridiculous, Christopher. Why should you get stuck all the time? You should make Paulie pay.
What, I make the rules now? Guy's a captain.
All I'm saying is if you get the extra responsibilities, you should get the benefits too.
You're right. I'll say hello to the guys from you.
I'm sure it's going to be plenty of guys.
Mm-hmm. She was a little like questiony there. A little different, I feel like. I wonder if she's been trying to cooperate a bit more.
Tony sent me. He says he wants somebody stationed in the yard. He's worried the bear might come back.
What? No, I don't want this.
He's just worried about you, that's all. And Anthony.
Well, okay. I don't know. You're very nice to do this.
Nice, got nothing to do with it.
Walkman.
Oh, freaking grenade, too.
Brother. I'm sorry. I thought he was going to pull out like a hunting rifle or a Glock. This man pulls out an AK. Like, what are you doing?
That's why dinosaurs don't exist no more.
Wasn't it a meteor?
They're all meat eaters.
Meteor.
Take it easy.
Gentlemen, whenever you're ready.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, see, they all got a Gumar.
All right, are we set?
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing? You ready?
I gotta make a pit stop.
Yeah. You forgetting something?
You get it. I got the last one.
Oh, boy. Look at his face. Oh.
Fine, I'll get it.
Give me the fucking thing.
I said I'll get it.
Enough. It's done.
These two.
Also, maybe Adriana was just asking who's going to be there because she's suspecting the Gumars and all that shit.
$860. What? You heard me. That's what you owe from last night.
You said you got it.
Then get the rest by tonight, or you stop paying points.
Crazy. They're acting like $860 is a lot of money to them. I feel like, I don't know what they're getting paid, but I
For
bet
a
that's
din-
nothing
for a
them.
dinner, though?
It's a lot of money, but for them, I feel like that's
a really expensive dinner,
That's an expensive
especially in
dinner.
the time that they are
Yeah,
too.
agreed.
Come on, you all right? You barely touched your egg salad. Too much gherkins.
Oh, he doesn't look good.
So you're gonna give him a party?
Yeah, you know, get him laid.
Oh,
What's the matter? Come on. Come on. All right. Come on. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Is he breathing? Get that egg salad out of his mouth. Hurry up!
That Carmine Jr.? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I got some bad news. Your dad's had a stroke.
Oh, my God. How bad?
There's some paralysis. It's too early to tell you that they're doing everything they can.
Is my mom there?
I just called her. She's on her way. We're over at St. Vincent's.
Anything, John. Anything he needs. I'm on the next plane.
all right. I was going to make an assumption that Johnny did something, but if it's a stroke, there's nothing. Couldn't have
You
done
know, I
that.
haven't forgotten our arrangement last year.
Okay, so it's been a year.
Taking out a boss? Come on.
Even still.
What do you want, an apology?
Well, imagine if his fucking speeches affect the poor bastard.
Yeah, then his son will take over, what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
If he wants part of it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Seems like he's living a pretty good life already.
Who calls on the phone?
Most of the calls seem to be for Anthony.
He's all like, yeah. What's going on here? Oh, this is Tony.
Yeah. They said Anthony, and I was like, bro.
Yeah, literally.
Oh,
He's dreaming.
Oh, she was dreaming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo. Wow.
That's insane.
But you know something? That dream didn't, if I could say this weirdly, it didn't seem like sexy.
Oh.
You know, from my perspective, it didn't feel
He
like
looked
she was
like-
like lusting. It looked like he was like brain dead or like
Yeah.
asleep.
She called him in though.
So,
Look at how he came dressed, too.
Look, the real reason I'm here is to confront you in a positive way about taking our relationship in that other direction.
My God, bro.
I was gonna ask you out for coffee or something, but I didn't think you'd go. I'll pay for the hour, that goes without saying.
forget that.
I was listening to that guy on TV, Dr. Phil, and he was talking about a similar situation, and he said that you could if you wanted to. There's no set rules. It's basically about malpractice, and you probably couldn't get sued.
That's not the point.
Look, I was thinking about all kinds of moves. Pay the guy to close down a restaurant where she eats lunch and hire a mandolin player.
Damn.
If you don't like me personally, or the cut of my jib or my face or whatever, then the matter will end here, and I will never ask you again.
Feels really earnest. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
You can be honest.
But he's really trying.
I like you, Anthony, and know you have a very nice face.
Working on the way, too, by the way.
There must be plenty of women out there.
You're different from what's out there. Not to mention being drop dead beautiful.
My training teaches me to go fairly quickly to the idea that what you really want is to come back to therapy.
Jesus Christ almighty, come on, will ya?
Your marriage of 20-something years has collapsed.
Can I do something that's just for me, for a change?
It would be for you.
Well, I want you. And not just for the smart things you say. I want your skin.
Damn.
I want your mouth. I want your eyes.
You project all these qualities onto me. You don't know me. This is what happens between doctor and patient.
Oh, boy.
Don't do that.
You know, forget about the way that Tony Soprano makes his way in the world. That's just to feed his children. It's two Tony Sopranos. You've never seen the other one. That's the one I want to show to you.
But genuinely, he knows nothing about her.
He doesn't. He's created a fantasy in his head.
It's that he feels like listened to. And also she, I feel like, has this attraction to want to help him. And that's what she can't like get away from.
I don't want to paint in somber tones here, but the man is a sociopath, unpracticed in not getting what he wants. And now, since the therapy is kaput, what use are you to him except for sex? All you could come up with was this weak borscht about professional ethics because you are worried about how this thug will handle rejection.
So said you were looking for me?
Shut up.
He's going to address the him and Paulie thing.
This about the Easter baskets?
I don't even know what that is. And to tell you the truth, I don't want to know. Now, what's the shit between you and Paulie? You chiseled him out of a dinner?
Can I say something in my own defense? It's not right that I have to pay all the time. I've been paying for fucking years.
You pay till I tell you don't have to pay no more. You know how many tabs, how many dinners I picked up over the years? Fucking Richie Aprile, fat fucking Jerry Anastasia. Those guys killed me at betting honest.
Dang, Peter Luger's. Oof.
I hear you, Tone, but that was before inflation.
Whatever.
Oh, brother. Just you wait. I feel like it's more a Paulie thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, sure, paying sucks, but it's the fact that Paulie could be the one paying.
And he's also paying for Paulie, which
Yeah, exactly.
he doesn't like.
I can't remember the last time I ate this much.
Sure you don't want no dessert?
Not for me.
I'm good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Enjoy it, girls. I've been enjoying looking at you the whole night.
Get some fucking glasses.
Oh, boy. That was great.
Tone, you sure you're all right? You got a big moose on. Fucking broad. Believe that? Really? You mean, it's the real deal, I think. No shit, huh? The thing is, we got this platonic thing going. We have had for many years. And no amount of convincing will change your mind.
Let's get it on. Just playing in the background.
They're wrapping up a lobster roll for me to take to Jenny.
His face, bro. Adding more to the order.
Anything else, gentlemen?
We're good. My friend here will take the check, though.
Have a wonderful evening.
1184. Oh, babe.
Damn.
I gotta play that number. I'll tell you, after a meal like that,
Oh my God, this is gonna be bad.
Why don't you just yourself? Save a little money.
what's your problem?
Stop trying to bait me, Paulie. You know what my fucking problem is.
No, why don't you tell me?
You want me to tell you? Fine. Steaks, 3-pound lobsters, the shrimp fucking cocktails you made everybody get. Then on top of everything else, you send those skanks a bottle of Cristal.
I was being a gentleman, Chrissy. You ought to try it sometime. I'm telling you, Chrissy, I don't give a anymore who you're related.
Card decline.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Was there a problem with the service?
What are you talking about?
You left me $16, sir.
There's $1,200 in there.
That's correct. And the bill was $1,184. Assuming you don't tip on tax or alcohol, 15%.
I'm tapped out.
Oh, that's horror.
I have kids.
Then go back inside before you get hurt.
I have a goddamn family to support.
F off.
Go piss it away at blackjack, fucking asshole.
Oh!
Oh, boy.
What do you got to say now?
He killed him. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, they just knocked him out.
No, he's dead.
No.
Oh, shit.
Chrissy, he's f***ed up.
Don't they have medicine they're supposed to take, these assholes?
I don't know.
What?
He's having a seizure.
You gotta turn him on his side. They don't know this.
Pine Barrens all over again.
Oh yeah, that was smart.
What a joke.
Okay, you could have also just let him like have the seizure. You know, you didn't have to shoot him.
Jesus
'Cause
Christ.
he probably was gonna die.
Yeah. Paulie's literally like a loose cannon. Also, whoever said, there was a couple people who said this season gets really dark. Yeah, we're there.
You can even tell with the grading. Seems
And
like,
the lighting.
Yeah, it just seems so gray and colors don't seem as bright.
I'm not too worried about the cops. Nobody knows us down there. The reason I called. Let's bury the hatchet, you and me. All this bullshit with us.
I know, it's stupid.
Life's too short, Chrissy. You can't waste it fighting with your friends. You're special to me, you know. Always have been.
You too, Paulie. To me.
We'll split the tab.
I'm sorry, Paulie.
I apologize too, kid. I'll talk to you later.
So they bonded over this moment? Interesting.
Because they got to keep quiet.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Well, he wants him to keep quiet, basically, because he's like, you didn't need to shoot this guy. Exactly what Charlie said.
Yeah. And also, like, that's another thing to add to Paulie's screw-ups, right? Because he already messed up big time in Pine Barrens, and we still don't know if that guy is alive.
I'm sure he's, I mean, at this point, if he hasn't come back, there's no way.
I was saying, a friend of mine had these and couldn't use them. I figured, well, maybe we could.
My
Tickets. Bermuda.
No.
Lodging at the Elbow Beach Hotel.
These grand gestures. Crazy.
I turned down a wonderful dinner invitation, and you think I'll go away with you.
Well, the guy couldn't use them, and, he gave them to me. What do you want me to do, throw them away?
Yo, that delivery. Tone of voice is crazy.
That was great.
You're turning me into half a stalker.
Yeah, you're turning me into a stalker. It's crazy. What a lie.
I'm not going to go out with you, okay? And I would like you to respect my decision and just try to feel that I know what's right for me.
Help me understand it, okay?
He's not used to people telling him no.
Yeah.
You know, Anthony, during therapy, I never judged you or your behavior. It's at the place of a therapist to do so.
All right, I get all this. Go.
In a personal relationship, I don't think I could sit silent.
About what?
Our values are just very different.
You don't like my values?
Honestly?
Yeah.
No.
Like what?
Bruh.
It's getting late.
No. Come on. It's okay. It's okay.
You know this.
You're not a truthful person. You're not respectful of women. You're not really respectful of people.
I don't love people.
Maybe you love them, I don't know. You take what you want from them by force, or the threat of force. I couldn't live like that. I couldn't bear witness to violence or...
F you.
And there we go.
You fucking cunt.
Oh, my God.
Someone tells him the truth.
Yeah,
Absolutely
can't take it.
spirals.
Is he going to show up here?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can take the night off.
Isn't this the song that played in the beginning?
That's
yeah,
what I thought.
yeah.
To feel like the big man, important. To hold a big gun.
You want coffee?
No.
Machine's busted. Tastes like shit. It's a dope poster frame right there.
Yeah.
Big bad man.
What a start to the season. I think usually from past seasons, it kind of, they definitely, lean you in and they take their time, right? Well, with this one, they were like, all right, so we got guys out of the mafia who are in jail. We got guys coming out. We got bears. We got Paulie and Chrissy doing Paulie and Chrissy things.
Yep.
And we got the whole Dr. Melfi narrative and Tony still in love with her. Like all in one episode. This was insane for beginning of a season, first episode of a season. And something that stood out to me in this episode, I want to see what you guys think about it. Tony's relationship with animals. Again, it's back for the first episode. And this bear, now that he's gone, has appeared in their home. And I'm wondering, Abe, what do you think there's some sort of symbolism or contrast to Tony's love for animals and how this season is shaping up to be?
Yeah, well, this is an interesting one, right? Because we've never seen Tony want to like harm animals, right? He's always kind of the caretaker in some sort of sense. He's always has some sort of loving attitude until this bear, right? Which is the first kind of like threatening predator sort of animal. And now he's kind of wanting to protect his family in this sense. So it's a slightly different dynamic. And I think it's an interesting one to keep an eye out on. But I think the bear, in a sense, like the bear in general, like the symbolism, I think in general, like cliches we know about the bear, like Papa Bear, right? The defender, the person who's a caretaker. And Tony feels a little bit like that role has gone away since he's not been at the house, not being able to take care of Carmela. So what does he do? He sends his guys over there. Carmela doesn't want them there. And at the end, he ends up trying to be there and hold the gun and try to emulate, I guess, that Papa Bear and try to be the defender. And right now I feel like he's missing a little bit of purpose by not being at the house, being separated, not having an actual relationship. Like Valentina was this woman that he went after, pining for forever. We looked in this episode, their dynamic for like a minute, and he looked like he couldn't give less of a crap about her. And it feels like he's trying to fill this void. And then we see that with the whole interaction with Dr. Melfi. I thought that was a very interesting way to show that Tony is feeling like he has a void that he needs to fill by by being separated from Carmela and his family.
Yeah, Charlie, what do you think that identity, you could say, crisis Tony is having? Because he's got the mob, he has all the power, but we're seeing something missing. And what do you think is missing from that?
Genuine love, possibly. Because, I think with this whole thing that's happening with Carmela now, he's trying to fill that void somehow. And we know that since the beginning, pretty much, he's had a thing for Dr. Melfi. So I I thought the way that he went about it was very interesting for him, because he was very like open and honest and vulnerable as well. And so that was something different from Tony. But of course, he's not used to hearing no from people. He's used to getting his way. And the two women so far that we've seen say no to him are Svetlana, although initially he got what he wanted, but then she said no and rejected him. But Dr. Melfi is the only one that's not done anything with him at all and has rejected him from the get-go. So I think he's having troubles with that. Yeah. Being the big boss, you're kind of spoiled with everybody being yes men to you and stuff. And he is, he needs to accept that that's not reality. Like in the real world, you don't just get everything that you want.
Yeah. And also like, the last season ended by him and Carmela's relationship blowing up because she couldn't take being disrespected anymore. And at the end here, Dr. Melfi basically effectively throws that in his face. Although she doesn't know all the details behind the separation, she throws like, you're not respectful to women in general and blah, blah, blah. And he's like blows up in her face. And I think that, that's something that Tony has to kind of reckon with. And the Melfi thing is really interesting because to me, I don't think he genuinely loves her. I don't think he loves her. I think he feels loved by her because his conception of love is so warped. The reason why I think he feels this way is because she is the person who listens to all of his problems. And she is the person who tries to help him understand himself the most. Nobody else really does that. Really, people see him as this hard exterior boss, person with status, power, whatever. But she unpacks the vulnerability, the real struggles that he has in his life and all of that. And I think that is what warps his perception to think like I'm in love with this woman, but that's not truly the case. And I think that's what this whole episode and his specifically him and Dr. Melfi, what it was showing.
I'm going to add to that. Like Dr. Melfi is very much genuine, right? We know that she's very professional. She loves her job and she actually cares about her patients. But the other thing Tony has to realize as well is like, yes, this person cares for you and like talks about your problems and stuff, but you're paying them to do so.
Yeah.
Right? You're paying for a service. Like that should, that should be pretty obvious to him.
Yeah. And and the last piece about it is like what she talks about is like the biggest thing is the morals, right? She goes to her therapist and talks about how she did find him sexy, found him attractive. And then eventually when you start unpacking all of the things that she finds in therapy, it's reprehensible. She can't deal with it. And Tony struggles to reckon with that because even with Carmela, he's like, all I try to do is provide. I try to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, bro, all of these other things that you do wrong, like suddenly you can't take that criticism and you can't recognize that you're actually like doing something bad, irresponsible, damaging to the other person's feelings. Like he just doesn't get that. And the second that she calls him out on that, because I think he knows deep down that Melfi is the person who tells him the truth the most, he can't confront it.
No. And it's always been like that. And he's always coming up with fantasies and different realities in his head that he just, I don't know what his process is, but he just can't. I don't think he will ever come to a sense that, this world doesn't evolve around him. That's something I want to see. Will Tony ever come to a consensus agreement with himself that this world is not, a Tony's world? Like there's other people in this world, Right. And we see a lot of men who were in the mob, in jail, now coming back. We got another Tony, and the introduction to him was fascinating. He was so animated in telling a story.
Well, that's Feach Lamana. That's not the other Tony.
That's not Tony? Sorry.
No, Tony's the cousin who looks like he's played by Steve Buscemi, who is like being foreshadowed to come out, but he hasn't come yet. Feach Lamana is the guy who's come out.
So sorry. Messed up the name. Sorry, y'all. But he was so animated in telling all the story. And just a quick thoughts. What do you guys thought about that scene?
This is very old school mob, I feel like.
Yeah. To me, at first, I kind of felt like it was an introduction to another potential problem character. Although probably not, because like we've heard his name come up a few times. Like people talking about him and stuff, and he seems to be like a legend of the mob in a way, or something. So
I hear that, but like to me, it spells trouble because like Richie Aprile was a legend. People respected him. He went into the can, whatever. And usually, like these guys who go into the can, he talked about basically he walked up to the biggest guy he could find and beat the shit out of him. Yeah, just to
it's just
we hear about that stuff all the time.
It's just the way that they're doing the storytelling. I'm leaning more towards the cousin coming out of the jail might be the
problem.
the problem person.
Yeah, it's a good question. We're still getting to know these characters, right? He's brand new.
Yeah.
Right. The thing that to me was a little bit of foreshadowing, and we'll see how it goes, is like he comes out and he basically tells Junior and Tony, I want to earn. I want to come back. I'm an entrepreneur. Nice, sweet talking. Junior and Tony give each other.
Yeah, there
a
were
look.
some looks. They were like,
and I think not reading into it too much is just a look of genuine concern. Obviously, when there's another earner, that means you got to split things up a little bit different, or you got to find a new stream of income to satisfy this guy's desire to earn. And they were like, and Tony's basically like, as long as you don't step on anyone's toes. And he's like, me, I'm Fred Astaire. Like, I can dance around whatever. And it's like, sure. Like to me, it sounds like he's kind of he probably is saying that. But it almost foreshadowed to me like there will definitely be some stepping on toes. And I don't know if that's going to be any existing personalities or this other Tony who's still to come out of prison. We haven't seen these guys interact. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops.
Yeah. Chrissy and Polly's dynamic has always been a very all over the place.
Yeah.
It never seems like they can ever get a consensus agreement on who they are as one another and their relationship. And when they come to an agreement, always something bad always happens. And again, something bad happened. They killed someone, and that's when they were like, Polly killed someone.
It's a result of something bad happens.
Always.
Agreement, yeah.
And usually Polly's fault.
Again, yeah, It's usually Polly's fault. Charlie, what do you think of this dynamic going forward into season 5? Because it seems like they will be exploring this more.
I think it's still going to be a problem because when we saw what happened in Pine Barrens, Polly was still trying to blame Christopher even after the fact. And I think the same thing might happen here. If like they find out something about that waiter, like if Tony finds out or whatever, and then they start being questioned, I'm sure that Polly will be flipping immediately on Chris. So I still think Chris is in trouble. Like I very much still fear for Christopher because I don't know. It just seems like he has all this like weight and responsibility of being the next big boss because of, bloodline and all that stuff. But he's always butting heads with people and people seem to have a problem with him. And I think he just needs to watch his back.
Yeah.
I see it as more like the Polly and Christopher dynamic is really interesting to me because in a way, they're two of the most immature members of this family.
Yeah.
Christopher, partially because of his age, right? Like he is the newest made man basically that we see in the crew as far as we know, right?
Yeah.
And he's still kind of learning how to assume responsibilities, pave his way, pay all this stuff and not feel any sort of, specific way about it. It's just paying your dues. And Tony basically told him like, I did this stuff too all the time. Now with Paulie, it's like he's one of the more senior members of this, but he is the most like immature, the most like transactional guy that we see. He's like, I'm trying to scratch you scratch my back, I scratch your back, but he's always trying to like, look good, look in people's favor, and he's like a little bit of a weasel and untruthful. And to me, it's like this like power struggle between the two of like who's the most immature and who can look the best in front of the big boss. And I just think that dynamic's super interesting. And I always feel like at the end of the day, Chris is compromising for Paulie, and Paulie's like either, lack of thinking clearly, with the Pine Bear and stuff, like the mistakes that he was making, like losing his shoe, whatever. And now the guy's the waiter's having a seizure in the middle of the parking lot or the middle of the alley, and he shoots him. Exactly what Charlie said. If this guy like dies, like whatever. I mean, I guess you can't predict for 100% that nobody's going to come by, see that they died, whatever. Like maybe he could be witness to somebody assaulting him. I guess that's part of the thinking. Yeah. But it's like, really? You got to shoot this guy right here and then? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Like that's the thing that I think Paulie is such a, character that doesn't think these things through, and then in order to make sure that he covers himself, he always basically is like, well, Chris, we can bury the hatch, we can split the tent, because if it comes out that he was responsible for something so stupid, then he can look bad in front of the big bosses.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that this dynamic can last? Do you think someone can lose their life because of it? Because the way that the 2 times where they go crazy, someone always loses their life. It's not them, but it's someone. It's because someone is, on the verge of dying. So I'm wondering, can Chrissy and Paulie keep up this relationship? Can this relationship last?
Something is bound to happen that is like irredeemable, I feel like.
Yeah, I say no.
Yeah, I feel like something has to hit the fan so bad that they both look horrible. Or maybe specifically like it's Paulie's fault again for the 3rd time's the charm. And Chris is like, yo, I'm done. Like, there's no more, I'm sorry, it's all good, I'll hide your secret, or, it's not your fault, Paulie.
Yeah.
And that was why Paulie kind of flipped out, I feel like, at when he was telling the story. Because he wanted, it was making him look bad. But like, I feel like it had been enough time where it didn't matter anymore. But Paulie's very hyper aware of how he looks to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Christopher, I still think he's in trouble, and I think that even if I think Paulie might have some protection because of like seniority and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So either way, I think Christopher's in trouble.
There's two ways to look at it, right? Like Paulie has seniority, but Christopher is literally like the chosen one. He is the one who will basically take over for Tony.
He is the one who has screwed up a bunch of times and has been like forced to go to rehab and all that stuff. So in their eyes, they could look at him as the worst one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like both of them are, I would say, equally immature and bad. Like both of them make really shitty decisions. I think actually Christopher is the lesser of 2 evils, minus the addiction. I think the addiction was probably the thing that made him really volatile and like a tough person to work with. But outside of that, like Paulie is the one who's the most impulsive and makes these choices, murders an old lady in her house and steals the money under her mattress, kills a dude who's having a seizure in the middle of an alley when, he maybe could have saved him or maybe could have just let him die. Like, these are the things that even Christopher, I don't think, does. He thinks these things through out a little bit better. So to me, one of them is going to cause maybe the fall of the other, and it feels like Paulie is going to be the one to really make shit hit the fan.
Yes, and we're seeing Bobby and Janice's relationship progress.
What the hell was she saying about her
wedding ring?
They get married already?
Or was she married prior? I don't.
She got married to Richie, didn't she?
Oh yeah.
But like, has she still been wearing it? I don't freaking know.
Maybe they are married. We'll see. Maybe Bobby and Janice did tighten up.
I can't keep track of relationships.
I feel like they would have shown that.
Yeah, no.
I feel like they would have shown that. They wouldn't just skip through that.
Maybe not. You never know. I mean, maybe it's just like, oh, Janice is, classic Janice. She's in another committed relationship, just like that.
And then something we're seeing is AJ and Carmela's dynamic in the introduction of not having a father in the house and the effect that it has on AJ. He said something in the beginning of this episode, basically being like, if my dad was here, this would be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, Charlie, what are your thoughts of AJ's role in all of this and going forward? What do you think you're going to see?
I don't think AJ really plays too big of a role going forward, to be honest. I think he's just going to be that character who's like constantly giving the reminder to Carmela, like, there should be a man in the house. You shouldn't have, split with dad, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like he's kind of there to just serve that purpose and kind of make her feel guilty for letting Tony go. Yeah, because I don't really know how the relationship goes from here, but the fact that, I mean, it seems like a year has progressed, right, from where we left off in the season finale, the previous season to now. And like, Carmela doesn't like having Tony in the house, but she's tolerating it now. He's like coming in. He has keys still to the place. He's sitting out back now with a freaking AK-47 in his hand, smoking a cigar, keeping watch out for a bear. So, it seems like the relationship between the two of them has progressed now to the fact that she can like at least tolerate him being around somewhat for some reason.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
Right? So we kind of got that indication from Johnny Sack and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is probably another dynamic we should jump into with Johnny Sack and Carmine having a seizure or having a stroke, excuse me, and being in the hospital, almost looking like he's on his deathbed based on the way that we see Carmine Jr. talking about it. And it still feels like Johnny Sack is plotting. I don't know, Davi, what you thought.
Seems
about
like we're
that?
going like full circle with Junior and how in the beginning of the seasons we had him. There's a moment where he was away and then Tony was coming in. So I'm wondering. I think it's not going to be Johnny Sack. I think it's going to be his son. I think his son will play a pivotal role in how that hierarchy works.
That would make sense because then Johnny Sack hates Carmine Jr.
Yeah.
And so that feud would be even more than
exactly.
with
I think they're
Carmine,
playing with that.
The other piece of this that we didn't really talk about, and we haven't really seen in this episode, but I can't remember if it was Feach Lamana or not, but they were saying there was somebody else coming out from the mob who was a longtime associate of Carmine.
Yes.
So that adds another like big player who potentially could, have a power struggle or a claim to, that seat, if you will.
Right.
And, that's a really interesting dynamic because, at one point, it was really the power struggle was on the Jersey side, right? It was Tony, it was Junior, and even Richie coming up to try to see if they could, plot against Tony. Now that kind of has settled a little bit. On the other side of the coin, now you have Carmine who's on his way out. You got Carmine Jr. who's like here and there. It doesn't really seem to be super involved, but basically he's next in line. Johnny's been this loyal servant and basically feels like he's next up and deserves it. But if this other person, who's potentially a longtime ally of Carmine and all that, like the power struggle stuff can get even more interesting.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do.
Yeah. If anything, though, who would have a bigger claim than Carmine Jr., right? I feel like the son's bloodline, like he would have the claim. And I think that if it comes down to that and he has to take over or he accepts taking over or whatever, he has to watch his back because obviously they're already plotting to potentially whack Carmine. So it would be even more so towards Carmine Jr.
I don't think Tony would try to whack Carmine Jr.
Oh, not him, Johnny Sack.
Johnny Sack, yes,
Sack, and then whoever the hell they just said that's coming out.
But then I think Tony would turn against Johnny Sack.
It's going to be really interesting to see. And the other thing, like the whole claim to, who's boss, it feels kind of up in the air and it feels like the people decide it or the family decides it. Because if you remember, before Tony was boss or before even like Junior was like really boss, it was Jackie Aprile who ended up getting cancer and whatever, and then it was a little bit of Jackie on the way out, Junior, and then Tony, and it was like didn't really seem to be this family lineage that was clear successor. So we'll see. I think we'll see what happens with Carmine. But if anybody, people can know and can give any additional context as to how these things work in the mob, then understand it without spoiling, of course, the future.
Yeah, the politics of it all.
We love hearing about that. We're not experts in that facet, so whatever y'all can add to the comments, we'd appreciate.
Wow. And final thing for me, filmmaking wise, this looks so different compared to season 4.
Yeah, it does.
It looks a lot grayer. It seems like colors are not as vivid compared to before. And I think that is very intentional to showcase the tone of this season and how dark it's going to be. And I'm just wondering, anything that stood out to you guys this episode visually you want to bring up?
Yeah, I mean, well, first thing is the season. It's a different season, like not season 4, season 5. I mean, like the previous season, I feel like it was summer, and now we're like in fall/winter approaching. So I could see why they would, have those changes. The other thing, though, it does, like you said, the look of it feels older. Like it feels like it feels like it's older than season 4 for some reason.
I know what you mean. I felt like it was the grading.
Yeah,
the grain
could be that, and also the sound design, like the audio quality feels older as well. I don't know if they're trying to go for a more like retro vibe for mafia style thing or whatever, but either way, I like the look of it.
Yeah,
still,
I really do like the aesthetic of how they're taking this.
Yeah,
I think
I think it'll become even more noticeable when darker shit happens. And, you know, it's the opening episode of the season. Oh shoot, is that Steve Buscemi right there?
It is.
Yeah, we see the thumbnail for this for episode 2 right now.
Yep.
And this is so cool, bro. I've never seen Steve Buscemi really in a
something that's not comedy related.
Yeah, in a serious role. And obviously that's, you know, just a product of the time that, you know, we grew up. We're a little bit younger, so we see him in the freaking Adam Sandler movies and all that stuff. But I know now, being educated, that he was a massive writer, actor in these types of films. So it's gonna be cool to see what he brings to the table.
Just remember him in Mr. Deeds as like the cross-eyed guy who always gets the pizza or whatever.
I've always, it's so weird because I've always known him as like a side character, relief character, but not knowing all the stuff he's done prior in the industry.
He's done some serious stuff. Another thing, I went to, this is so unrelated, I was on vacation this week. I went to Philadelphia and I went to the Eastern Penitentiary, which was like one of the first like big prisons in the United States. And there's an audio tour, and it is narrated completely by Steve Buscemi.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like narrating, and it's a very serious audio tour. And I was like, this just feels strange. So the people who only know him for comedic things, like there's an entire different side of him that I'm just starting to get to know, so I'm excited.
He's got range. I'm excited too. And with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode. We'll be back for more Tony Tuesday. Stay beautiful, y'all.
See ya.